this is how I animate. Just look up firealpaca. Go here like that. I'm gonna go back, download it. They got Windows, they got Mac. Use Sony Vegas. I think this is the version I downloaded when I first got it. It's not free, but I got the free version because I looked it up. You know, you could also just do this. Why Sony Vegas version 15? Because I got it from a friend, I think. I forgot. It's something called Sapphire. What? Okay. Sapphire plugin. Yep. You just go here. I'm gonna find the most trustable video. It should be. I'm gonna pick this one because this one looks kind of. I think like any colors that aren't like green or blue. I kind of just go for.
Hey guys.
Anything trustable. Yeah. These are the plugins right here, but I hate the mega links. You don't want to do those because you have to make an account and everything. I mean, unless you want to put in the time. I have a mega account. So
Hey everyone, so today
but we gonna find a trustable video today. I think. Hold on. Yeah, it's the Sapphire plugin. So yeah, this is where you would get it. Link it in the description, so that way you can have that. firealpaca. Yeah, once you got firealpaca, hook up your drawing tablet and you set your canvas to this much, 1920 by 1080p. If you look here, I am running out of storage. Probably not big. Probably I don't think it's because of the drawings, but it's probably like a good majority of the files that I already have because I just got rid of a gigabyte on my PC. So you're gonna do that. Hit OK, and I'm gonna try to animate a bouncing ball. Basically, the way I animate is that I export all the frames into a folder. I create my own folder. That way I can have everything organized. And if I need separate folders, I do that too. This doesn't have a timeline, but I do remember them asking people on a poll yesterday what they want to see in the next update for the software. So I want to see a timeline, so I can, you know, if I want to play back my frames, it'll be easier that way because I can always just hit view, onion skin mode, autoplay, and if you didn't catch that, just rewind the video. All right. So on my next frame, right, because I'm on onion skin mode. I don't think you can change. No, you really can't change how many layers you see. I'm not exactly sure. I think you would have to go into these settings somewhere, something like that. Go again, and you can see the frame ahead, and like, if you go in between, you can actually see. It's kind of hard to see, depending on the thickness you choose with your lines. Oh, here's my mouse. Never mind. Say less. Forgot about that. So you can see the green line, which is the frame ahead, and then the one behind is the one that's below, like right there. Do you see that? So this one's the frame behind, that was the frame ahead. This is the frame I'm on right now. And of course, you can set the opacity on a frame. This looks a little weird, but what I'm trying to show you is that I'm actually going to add some blank frames so you can actually see the animation starting up. That way, it'll make more sense. Oh, autoplay. And I'm going to change the FPS to like a bit lower so you can actually see. firealpaca kind of makes the animation look smooth depending on how many frames you add. That's what I like about it. So you can do it like that. And then once you have your frames, all my frames, right? Like I usually have all my stuff in color. So I would hit. You gotta leave the onion skin thing on though, because if you don't, you won't be able to export your frames like individually into one folder. So you go to export layers, onion skin mode, and then desktop, because I prefer desktop. It's just easier to get to instead of going through the documents. The documents just throws all your stuff wherever they feel like in order, ABC order. Right click here, because yes, you can actually add your folder within this Windows Explorer. That's what it's called right now. But I'm gonna show. Like, I have to show you this. So click this and then click select folder. But I'm gonna delete this for now because I'm not gonna be doing any of that. I'm just gonna be showing you how to like animate first. So probably would have been better that I did add that folder first, and then So this is how you just click and tap on these to scroll through your layers. I'm doing this by pen. Like I'm literally using my pen to do like 90% of the stuff that I do. I don't always click on everything. Sometimes I use my pen as a mouse. If that makes sense. You can also hold and drag the layer to whichever you want. You can also double click right here, or just double tap, and then I name it one. You can name it Spider's Age style. Ooh, ga booga. Just thought of that at the top of my head. Yeah, it's gonna be just ooh, but ooga booga. Oh, did I put it on? Ooga booga. Yeah. Oh, caps lock. I always hit that. My keys are so close to each other, and this is a flat keyboard on my laptop. But I don't like this. But at least there's a light up too. It's a lot dimmer than what it used to be. Yep. So that's how you make the frames. If you're wondering how I make that little filter effect with Sage Fighters, I make a layer, fill it up with whatever color. Black isn't really good to show this one. Then I duplicate the layer by using this button right here. If you can see where my mouse is right here. But this one's the merge layer right here. That's how you delete frames right here. So merge, delete, and this one's duplicate. You can also just use this, or you can deselect. Hold on. I prefer the drawing version of that. So to get to the drawing version of that, you just go here. This one's the eraser. This one's for the pen. So this is an eraser select. That's a pen. I never really used this one before. I think with this you just... How does that work? I don't know what that does. But what I do know is that... Oh wait, no. Wrong tool. Sorry. It's actually this one. This one's the selection tool. So you can go in here and erase. Or you can use this and erase. You can also invert the selection with inverse, so that way you can get what's out here instead of what's in there to protect this. And you can also, wait, let me get rid of that. If you go back here, I might actually use it. So you can actually take this, and I think if you use the hand, no, it's not the hand. This one, yeah. Oh, okay, that does that. So you saw that? That's how you do that thing that I just did on accident. That's weird. It also split the image in half, so now I know how to split images. So you make, yeah, whatever color you have selected, that's what the shading box thingy thing does for that. You can also change it to a circle, ellipse, or polygon. I think you can just, if you go like this, like that. I think you hit enter at this point. Oh, shift enter. I don't know how that tool works. They don't explain these things. But we're actually gonna just undo all that with Control Z. And I'm gonna go back to showing you how to do the thingy thing I just said I was gonna do. So again, you can change the opacity, right? The blur effect, gotcha. So duplicate, right? And you wanna go to the blur tool right here. I don't know what happens if you delete one of these. I'm actually been wanting to test that. Hold on, if I Control Z, will it undo that? It won't undo that. I think you might have to reinstall the brush. I don't know. That's actually the one I need too. Add a brush. Add a preset brush. Do they have blur? Oh, these ones are already preset, so you can actually re-add it if you need to. If you delete it on accident, you can just put it back. See? There is new. I don't think you can even like. Yeah, because they're programmed, so you can't get rid of them. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna go back to using blur. So I always set this one. You can actually take your pen and click and drag this past like its point of like max. I think that, I don't know what the exact max is. I think it's like 150 right here. And it goes to 2000, which is pretty cool. So you can do stuff like this. And that's very blurry. Alright. You can also go here to edit. I think it's layer. It's filter. Yeah, filter. And then Gaussian. But that's a different kind of blur. You want to put over the entire frame. You could do a lot with that too. You can even make like the Dragon Ball Super filter they do in Photoshop. Yeah, there's a video on how to do that too. So if you blur this one and then you put overlay for the blend, then let's see this one. Oh, it's on the onion skin, so you can't really see what's going on here. But hide all these, and then bring this one up. I'm gonna show you for comparison. So this is the one without blur. This is the one with blur. So let's say like you had that shaded, and then you put the blur on top of it, it'll actually start to show more. But you can see what I'm doing here. It makes it brighter. I recommend. Okay, I'm gonna do that real quick. I set mines to like somewhere in like the 40s, like from ranging from 42 to 43. It doesn't matter. 41 to 43. I use those exact numbers for each and every single frame. So once I get done, I set each and every single one. I literally duplicate each one of these. Not like this, because this would make it really confusing. But I start off with one frame at a time, then I duplicate it and just do the blur thing, merge it down, and then go to the next one, do the same thing until all of them are done. And I ran through at least 200 frames doing that on one of my animations, which is a good example of what I was talking about. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete these two because we don't need these. I'm just gonna show you how I do the thingy thing. Okay, delete this one. Which ones are my frames? So it's not these two. Also, when you delete, it goes up, then it goes back down to the frames you already have because it can't delete any more frames that aren't there. Or if you start off with the top frame and then start deleting, it'll go down anyway because it's gonna start pulling those ones up. So delete that. Wait, I'm gonna see if frame 10 had anything on it. Did it? No, it did not. Delete those. Yep. File, because most people just kind of be like, I don't know how to explain this, so I'm gonna just do it the cheap and unapologetic way. Okay, I think that's cheesy and rude. It's not fair to people that actually want to learn. I understand how people actually learn how to animate like that. They kind of just look at it like, oh, I get what this person's saying. You gotta figure it out on your own, which is true half the time, but it's very helpful to just show people how you do things instead of being stingy about your technique. You can't keep everything to yourself. Alright, so since I have this, I'm gonna turn this back on. I need the onion skin for this. File, export layers. It's gonna ask me to make a folder, so why not? Folder for AJ, because AJ need this. AJ do. Okay, just joking. Alright. Select folder. It's gonna ask me to transparent. Now I would only do this if the colors were in full. So if you want to do a transparent animation like this, where it's like in blue or red, whatever you choose to draw with, and it's supposed to be transparent, hit yes. But make sure you have at least one frame that's a background color with like just one color, like black or green, or just make a bunch of different ones. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Let's not do this yet. Fill tool, right? I'm gonna hide all these because actually I don't even have to hide all these. Because once I go to the cool thing about the onion skin mode is that this works sort of like a flip a clip. So if you fill it, and it's also like metabanked, if you fill it, it won't recognize the frame behind it or in front of it. It would only do that if I had this on. So let's say I got rid of this, right? Put it in between. See, it still recognizes the other frames that aren't on this one. That would actually be kind of annoying, but it's also good to because like if you want to like shade or draw, you can use like a duplicate layer of the same thing and just do it like that. Let's say we could just draw like one frame of a person with eyes and a mouth and a nose. Like this. Hold on. Oops. What the heck? I'm so blurred. Alright. Pen. Let's say you do this. This is eyes, and let's just pretend all the circles are his mouth. You want every frame to you get the point, but if you want every frame to be like this, because all these other ones are just kind of like filling it in, it's like weird. You just duplicate this a bunch of times, and then you can just draw the hair. I usually just put the hair layers above the head layers, so I keep them separate. So it's kind of like go to color, go like that. It's my hair, by the way. Don't steal that. It's mine. Go shoot, and then next. Don't hit this one. It's gonna duplicate it. Okay, so if I almost made that mistake too. Turn that back on, and then we're gonna Jesus Christ, onion skin. I like how I'm trying to animate and teach you how to animate at the same time. I hate. Oh man. So if I play that back, yeah, see, it's playing the frames back in order. Now, okay. This is, I think there's another mistake that I almost made trying to show you how to do this. So, yes, one, you have to have onion skin turned on. Two, make sure all the frames are visible. They're not like turned off like this. See, visible, invisible, right? If you don't, you're gonna screw all those up. There's a second one too. There's another problem too. Don't do this. Okay, I understand that like some people animate showing just the background, right? And then they want that character to move on that one background. So I'm gonna delete this. So don't delete that. I'm gonna delete these. I don't need these. I don't need these. Put this back down. So you got a background, right? I did it again. Background, person. But you want to make sure you know where the background's going when that person's still there as they're moving. Easy fixes only works you have onion skin on, so you hit always display first frame. If you turn off always display next frame, that just pretty much defeats the whole purpose of using the onion skin. And let's say you don't want it to be transparent, you could turn off transparent and then change the color to whatever you want. You can also resize this too. So, I mean, I don't think that's not gonna change the size of that. Ain't gonna change. I'm sorry. You also adjust it too, like that. Boom. Ooh, okay. And if it you could look if you export this right, it's gonna give you the transparent option. It's still gonna export with the color on each frame. Now, if you had one of these like turned off, that would just really jack it up. But anyways, we're back on onion skin mode. Okay, so now you can see that this frame is here. Most people don't tell you this, but you should probably use gray. I learned this from a Flash video. So I think the darker the gray, the easier it is to see. And then if you want to just use the gray as a way to see the frames in between, instead of exporting the frames with the color in the background, you can just use this as a guide and then change the background back to transparent like that. That way you can stop the transparent frames. They don't get stuck like that permanently. It's just an option. You can flip on and off like a switch. And then you go again. See next person, right? Boom, easy. Ooh, see that? Flip them. Next frame. Ooh, next frame. Ooh, next frame. See? Just like that. See, and it displays that first frame while also playing all the other frames that come after that frame. Almost as that's the main frame. So like I said, don't export all your animations, all your frames with that option still on, because it'll export all those frames with the background attached to each and every single one of them. So yeah, don't do that unless you really need to for some crazy reason. I don't really have a use for that yet. I mainly just do everything that I showed you in the video. So these are all the techniques that I know how to do. So now we're gonna turn that option off. Okay. File, export layers, and then for AJ, so we're gonna go here. Oh, so apparently I did export those frames into that folder. So go back for AJ, right? Delete all these. Boom, boom, boom. I'll try that again. We gotta get rid of the ones that we just drew, because the ones we don't need are the ones that are not gonna be in there. Okay. Delete. Careful, take your time. Breathe, remember to stretch. I'm literally hunched over in my seat right now. That's kind of painful after an hour or two without thinking about it. So these are 3 frames, right? I'm actually gonna add some more, because it wouldn't be a bouncing ball animation if you didn't try, right? So, and then you can also just take these. I'll show you in a little bit, but I'm actually gonna just animate these back. I might just do it all frame by frame, or have these go back in reverse when I edit them in Sony Vegas, and then start with this frame, right? Duplicate. Add that. I'm actually gonna delete this one later, but I'm just gonna use it as a guide. Go like that. Redraw that, slowing it down. Let's see. Yeah, I can delete 5 now because it's free to just see that coming. I mean, it's easier just to see that coming rather than just going through a complicated process that I just did. No, it would have been easier that way actually, because I could just play it. You'll see. This is a terrible way. I know what I'm doing, but everyone does their bouncing ball animation differently. It's not a I don't know how. It's about how you interpret it and how you want the animation to be, even if you don't want it that way. Oh, that's way too flat. But I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not into jiggle physics. Okay, chill. Calm down. I'm gonna send you back to horny jail. Shut up. Cut that last part out. Nah. That part won't be in there. Nah. Ew. Honestly, he looks like it doesn't melted. All right. I mean, I could just turn into like a fireball. That'd be kind of cool too. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, guys, double check. Make sure this is on. Make sure this option isn't on. And go back. Go to file. You don't have to click this because if you had a pen. Oh wait, I do have to click it. Never mind. That was weird. It's kind of like doing this thing where I hover it and it just. I don't know. All right, go here. Onion skin mode. Go to not. Select folder. Yes. No, 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 no. Don't do that. I did it again. Ah. I delete all these. Go back. Go back. Alright. Export layers onion skin mode. Go here. Select folder. Transparent, no. And then, let's see. Check out these folders. Is that all the frames? Yeah, you'll know if it stopped because right here, if you just leave the mouse here while it's doing that, don't look at the folder, just look at the icon on your mouse. It'll be like a loading screen, and then when it stops, that's how you know. Another thing, I'm glad you're still watching the tutorial if you have the patience for my 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 time, your time. All right, so you would hit. I want you to hit save and then name the thing and then set it to the desktop so that way you have it's saved before you export the frames because sometimes depending on your how your hardware is built, firealpaca will crash if it's not updated often or whatever. Not often, but depending on like how old your system is or something like that. I think, but it has done that to me before, and I almost lost all my frames doing this beforehand. So yeah, make sure you save it or save as, and then export your frames because it's not like Flash where it'll crash often because it never really crashes unless you're stupid enough to leave your PC unguided by its charger and then it dies while you're doing the frames because sometimes it'll when you turn it back on it'll actually ask you, hey, do you want to bring back these auto save files or folders, and sometimes it doesn't auto save, so sometimes it'll auto save some of them after a certain amount of time, kind of like in Minecraft, depending on the thing, and then sometimes it won't save all of them, especially depending on how much work you put into it. So yeah. It also doesn't tell you when it auto saves, so you have to look that up too. So yeah, just be careful about that. So now we got all the frames in here. Go to Sony Vegas. And there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. I like this. I really do. Take your mouse and scroll. There's some weird things too with this too. I recommend if you jack any of this up and you're working on a hard like very like tough rough project and you put some time into using this thing, and when I mean time I just mean like using it in general and figuring out like, oh, this is what this does, oh, this is what this does, because there's not a lot you need to know about using this. It's just there for you to have fun with. So yeah, of course it has all the basic stuff you need to edit videos. Just make sure your PC can not crash while using this because I always hit save at some point while saving my renders and whatnot. So we're actually gonna go here. I'm gonna minimize this. Gonna shrink this, and then go here. Oh yeah, yes sir. All right, that's all my frames. So a lot of people aren't really gonna tell you what they do and what they know how to do because most of them just do film or whatever. I don't know those people's lives. But, click and drag this over here, space. So I'm actually gonna look through these and I'm using the middle scroll bar to zoom in. If you're wondering how I'm doing that. Of course I'd tell you. Why wouldn't I? I'd be a dingus if I wasn't. Alright. So I'm actually gonna take this to scroll through the frames that go in order, and if some of them are out of order, I'm gonna fit them in to go back. So yeah, I need to actually make this go back down, and then make sure it goes back to here, because this is where the stretch frame starts right here. This is actually the stretch frame. So I need to, I can either do one thing. I'm gonna click this to mark it so I know where I stopped at. That's the stretch frame. So I actually need to click this one right here. You could hit Control, and then you have to hold Control to select multiple ones at once, or you can hit Control and Shift. Oh no, Control and Shift actually just blocks it, blocks the Control key from doing its thing. See, if I hold Control and Shift, it just stops selecting those. You can also do this. Click that. I'm gonna show you the tools down here. Selection tool, edit. So it's this thing, and then you can drag up and go like that, and then you can go like that. And click and drag. Click this. See, boom. See, I just figured this out yesterday because I was doing this thing where I was selecting these, and then I was switching the mouse tool because that's the main one that's used to do everything. Let's say you want to split, you can drag it in between. You can zoom in if you want, if you really need to. Just zoom in, go ahead. You can also drag this toolbar by the edge, and you can stretch it to zoom in too as well. And these zoom ins right here just really jack up how you see the thing. So I would hit escape if I were you. I think you can do this thing where you double click this. No, I think it's the blue bar. So is it the blue bar? Or is it if you... There's a thing where you can actually set a fade in for each one. So you would put your mouse by the top left, which is like this version of top left. It's not like this top left, it's actually this top left, because this part of it is how you trim it to stretch. This is how you add a fade in, and that's how you add a fade out. So you would actually drag it in like that, or you can drag this side in, and it gives you an option to set a time or whatever. This is how you change the opacity. Click and drag this down. Ooh, okay, see that? If you want to hide this layer, you just click the mute thingy thing, and it won't show it. It's a little glitchy because you actually have to drag this to render the whole screen right here to make it show what's below if the below doesn't show. But let's say you might have accidentally pressed a key on your keyboard and it's black like this. That means you just hit a key that muted it. And don't try to figure out which one you pressed, because then you might do something else. Okay, so yeah, that's how you do all those things that I do so far. Okay, so I'm actually gonna click and drag these. Jesus Christ. You know, to make it easier, I'm just gonna use the tool, but I need to figure out what frame I stopped off at. So it's most likely somewhere. Drag this real quick. I can't drag it without using this tool, so I'm gonna think out loud for you. Okay. Alright, that's the frame that I need to loop with, right? It's coming back down, so I'm pretty sure I redrew this. I forgot, but you know, animators can tell. Alright, drag up, pull these back, like that, and then I need to animate this ball thingy thing coming back down. So these are the two frames where it's like kind of, you can stretch this, because I don't even need both of these. These are both the same frame. So I can just stretch this out, and it's just white, right? You can set a time to how long you want that to be by stretching this out. See, when I import all these frames, you noticed how like each of them are the same length? I did that by going to options, go to preferences, I hope I'm right, go to editing, yeah, it's editing, and then copy the settings you see on this bar right here. And don't forget to hit apply, because if you hit OK, it's not going to be like that again until you go back and rewatch the parts that I did. Don't worry about any of this that you see. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I'm going to be honest with you, because a lot of people are just going to scroll through this stuff like they know what they're doing, and they don't. Okay, so 10. This is actually what changes the duration right here. So I should have said that, but this is actually what changes the duration. I don't worry about anything else here. I don't know what any of this cool stuff is, but I'm pretty sure this is just very complicated stuff built for film directors and whatnot. So hit space, and then the frame is going to come back down. So we're actually going to move all these. So just to make it less complicated, I'm going to move all these out the way. All right, click in any random spot. And I'm gonna just say this ahead of time so that way we can get into the cool animation editing stuff that I do. Am I still recording? Yay! All right. So to fully render your video, because this part's obviously gonna be black. You see that? It literally shows you right here that this is gonna go black once there's no frames to display right here. To add a layer track, right click, and then click video, insert video track, or you can insert an audio track if need be. I think it only lets you set it if you go right here and right click, and of course you can drag the layer and put it underneath a layer. So yeah, click and drag. Yay. Best invention of video editing ever. Right, double click, just double click, left click. All right, file, render as. This is a little weird, okay? So just copy the settings you see here, name it whatever you want. For browse, I recommend setting it to desktop, of course, and then naming a folder. Because actually, the outro that I'm working on right now has a bunch of folders inside that I've already put a bunch of stuff in that I'm working on right now, so don't worry about this. But that's what I do. I recommend that. Okay, copy that, and this thing right here, and then boom. But I'm not doing that right now. So I gotta loop these. So I gotta figure out what frames are gonna go backwards. Okay, so these ones are going forward, right? To make it go backwards, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I gotta see which ones match up. So I'm gonna say, since this one ends here, oh, it's another one, just this one. So this one's gonna go back, right? I'm gonna click this, Control C, go here, Control V, boom. Just copy that frame over here, easy. Now let's see, that frame should be corresponding to this frame. So I need to copy that frame right there. Go here, make sure, because the reason why I want to click it right here is just so it literally sticks to that one, and then you can still move it and everything, because this one's very like pinpointy sharp. It's very precise where you cut it and where it ends up, so you won't have any black like spaces, like it blacking out in between the video. So it only blacks out after the clip, not in between, unless you want some space right there, and then you get something like this. See, boom, easy. All right, take that. That one corresponds. That's just the way I see it for frame editing right here when I'm doing this. Oh, it copied down there. That was weird. You can also drag stuff to a layer. You can also drag it above sometimes. Sometimes it works depending on how you have it set. I think if it's here at the beginning, you can't even drag it up there to make a new layer. You actually have to make a new one like below sometimes and then drag it above like that. Put this one above. I'm gonna keep it low just like this. This looks simple enough, right? I want to confuse you. Alright, so go back there. So we're finally at that frame that I was talking about, and then we got this frame. Ooh, okay. That's the next frame. That. And then I guess this right here is just the last frame that I worked on. So this is actually stretching back into this. And I can just make that into a loop, easy. All right, so we're gonna take these. I don't know the button for this, right? What is it? It doesn't even tell you. You have to look these type of. Just look up like Sony Vegas shortcut keys, and you'll find all that stuff. Okay, I don't even have the motivation to look this up. I just find it easier to do it the way that I know how to. Boom, and then what I'm gonna do here is go back to this, double click. Hit options, loop playback, and it should turn purple. Sometimes it doesn't. You'll see like a gray before you see purple. Just hit space, and that's how you play it. And that's how you make a loop. This doesn't affect the video in any way. It just allows you to preview it as a loop, so you can see it. You can also get rid of the loop by going back and clicking that same option. And I think if you do that, you have the loops off. So with this being said, it basically just allows you to select it however you want. Now to split your images, which is the important part you probably really want to know, just really zoom in if you have to, because it's important. Don't be one of those lazy editors that just cut whatever and think that it's like, press S. See, there you go. You can get those little precise marks, and if you zoom in a little bit more, I don't think you can get these precise parts right here. I think it's like you have to click to it or whatever. No, it does not let you go in between the very like smallest seconds. I don't think I even tried this before. I think if you change the settings somehow, it'll let you do it though. But as far as I'm concerned, I just make sure I have everything the way I need it to be. So, wait, it does let you go in between. It's just lets you go in between the seconds of the seconds, but not like that really, really small seconds because it's just too much for the encoder. So yeah, that's how you split stuff. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm actually gonna take all these. My drawing tablet blacked out. That was weird. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this this thing I did in one of the videos, right? So this is how you do zoom in. Okay, so those sapphire plugins I told you about, we're gonna use them today. Okay, so we're gonna go to where it says video effects. Where's my video? Okay, I gotta put that back up there. My windows. Where does it say windows? View, window layouts, easy. Okay, default layout. Change it back. There we go. It doesn't tell you everything, so go to video effects. Scroll down. So the first thing, okay, if you have all the plugins, right, just look up how to get Uni Ecto if it's not here, because it should be here. This is, we're not gonna be using this, but let's just say if you were to use this, right, just wait for that to load. Boom. These are different like presets that I saved. You can take this, click drag, boom, here, and this is where this is gonna bug out a lot, but I'm gonna cut this off before it's too late. Basically, these are all the settings for like how you do like glows and stuff like that. I'm not gonna show you how to do that in this video because it's a lot. But if you want to know how to do like, let's say like you want your character to glow with like an R or something like that, you can do that with this. This is like one whole frame, so it's gonna just show it outside the video, and you can't even see it now because it's not like inside this area right here. I would have to literally crop the video and shrink it. And it actually shows you. So I'm actually, to get rid of this, hit the check, or you can click it and click effects X, which means just get rid of the effects, get rid of the freaking effects. Easy. So that one frame that we actually have right there, this is a good way to look at it because no one really moves this thing out the way. This is just in the way of what you're trying to learn. So to learn, what I'm saying is you're gonna be learning that whichever frame that you have this plugin put into, it only affects that one. It doesn't affect all of these because these are all separate ones, right? So this could have been a video instead of an image, and it still would have affected it, but it would have been separate from everything else. This does not work on audio, okay? You can't put a Dragon Ball Z aura on a sound you can't see. It'd be kind of funny though, right? So, also, this is a timeline for how long this clip is. So from here to here. I think I just dragged it all the way down. The freak did I just do? I think I just hit FX. It should go back, right? Hit OK. Hey, please. No. I think I just got it. It went down with the rest of the world. That's tough. Okay, right click, taskbar settings. We're gonna move this over to the right. Okay. So I can actually see where I put that thing because it's. Oh, there it is. See, yay, there we go. See, it's probably better if I have it just like this, right? Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. So you learning new stuff today. So like what I'm trying to say here is that wherever you set, and how long has this video been up? How long has this video been up? Oh gosh, it's already been 43 minutes. It's a whole hour tutorial. I might really have to cut this video up. So if you want to shrink this in like this. Oh, hold on. Let's click here. This actually locks it to left or right, or up and down, or all directions. So you can do whatever you want with that. That way you can have strict movements, strict left and rights, or strict, I'm going to call them strict left and rights and strict, I don't know what they call these, but that's what I'm just simplifying it to. You can also zoom it out. So you see that black, and you want to add that when you ecto back, then you can see the aura. So I'm actually showing you what that looks like right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, look, you can see the R now. Ooh, and you know what that means? You can make it like your own custom outros with the boxes and then put the video on top every video. That way you could just, yeah. And I recommend if you were to do something like this and just set it as a separate project, and then you could just change the color of the Uni Ecto. It will reset. So sometimes if you go into this and then click outside, it'll actually send you, hold on, move this real quick. Why is that there? If you click this right and you click out here, it'll send you back to the screen. Don't worry. You can always go back because it's not. It's just a little weird bug with the Sony Vegas thing, right? It's supposed to do that. Where is Sony Vegas? Burger. I've never done this before. We're actually gonna move this back. Taskbar settings. so let's go back to Sony Vegas. That wasn't over there. That was freaking me out for a second. Let's get rid of Uni Ecto, okay? Okay, everything will be fine. As like if you don't rush it, it won't crash on you. That's another important thing. So I'm gonna leave this just how it is, right? Go back to, you can zoom in. So this is effects, and that's the crop tool. These are I want to say these are technically the same, but I'd be wrong if I say that. I don't know what this is. I think this is like you can change the settings for the frames. So freeze frame at cursor. It's a little weird. Go here, right? So since we zoomed that out, I'm actually gonna delete this because this is the only time that it does that. So this basically allows you to animate the frame. You can make it go up, down, but it's kind of like it will tween into it. So let's say you want to make like an anime like camera pan, you can do that with this. But it's a lot you gotta like consider. You gotta be like, okay, how do I add a blur when it does this? How do I do this when it does that? Blah blah. So what this is actually gonna do, it's gonna start off how it was previously. It's gonna start zoomed out. You can see that right there, and then you can take this and then drag it to play out how it's gonna go. Sometimes you will have to delete this bottom one because this one messes it up sometimes, and this will actually fade into that. So I mean not fade, but it'll slowly start to progress into that. So this one's so small that it's literally just zooming. It's going really fast, but if that's how you want your timing, then be my guest. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of that. So to get rid of that, click it, right click, delete, boom, easy. And you can right click and then but not right click. You can add it again with the keyframe inserter or delete it. So you click it and hit this, or you can right click and delete. But you can also do it like this. This doesn't do anything because they're both the same thing unless you want to go up like that, but I'm gonna delete that anyway. So yeah, you get the bigger picture. Depending on how you set it, the distance will, if it's closer, it's fast. If it's far away, it's slower. But if it's like literally a split second long, you barely will see anything. So you want to drag your clip and prolong it to be able to see how fast or slow you want that to pan. It's a little bit better than using KineMaster, if that makes sense, for just that type of thing. That's kind of how I made what do you call it, Izzy? It's an Izzy file that I used. What did I call it? That what I'm trying to say is, in the outro walk folder, there was a animation I made where Mario still grabs Izzy's shoulder to like let him know he was there. It was called, I think it was called shoulder pat, right? Was it called shoulder pat? So what I did here is, yeah, you see all my frames in firealpaca, right? Some layers were separate, so I had to merge all of them into the Vegas clip. Then I added a green background color, like I mentioned before. But sometimes you have to add like a background color if you want to do certain things, or if you want to do things in black and white, or you want to create a chroma key. So what I did with this actually, you can actually take any clip and drag it into Sony Vegas. I'm gonna actually just get rid of all these because I already showed you how to export it. So that's how you do that version of that thing. Okay. Now this is how you do a green screen. Okay. Now I'm not gonna add a background with the green screen because you should already know how to do add images into it now. Drag this down. Boom. Drag this into here. Okay, so this long video is literally going to seem like a lot of complicated work, but it's really just, oh, let me do this within like at least 10 or 15 minutes and then have it down pat. Like, no, not. No. What I'm trying to say is that you'll learn it over time. This is just how I learned it, but it took me way longer than this to figure this out. Alright, so I dragged the clip in here, right? There's no audio on this, obviously, because I know for a fact that I already. To get rid of the audio, hit like, I think it's Control U. Yeah, you see that changed color if you look really close. I think you hit it again. You hit it again? No. All right. So basically, the color just went down to this little green part right here. That you could it separates the audio from the video, so you can actually drag this separately. And I think if you hit Control Z, they're merged. I think you have to click this one, hit U. Yeah, there we go. So you can actually delete that now because that doesn't even have any audio. This right here is the green screen. So to do that, you want to go to, I'm going to zoom this out, go to FX. You can type in, I think there's a search bar. No, it's only here. But this will actually lag. If you click after typing, it'll freeze it and it'll probably crash.
depending on how much stuff you have up here. So I'm looking for chroma key here. Starts in the C's somewhere. That's not it. It's spelled really weird too, for some reason. Gotta find it though. Gotta find it. It should be right in front of my face. I don't know why I don't see chroma key here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. K-E-Y. Key. Enter. Will lag. Okay, forget that, okay? Forget that. We don't even need that right now. Because either way, you can either go in effects and do it like that. That just takes longer. It's easier to do this. See? Don't press anything. It's literally, it'll probably crash or something. You're not gonna hear my thing like blowing up. Okay, yeah, that's chroma key. Easy. Boom. You can do green screen. But this won't automatically guarantee that, you know, depending on what colors you use, it won't automatically get rid of everything. Because Marvesto is black, right? But he's also mixed with, like, alien DNA, too. So it made his skin black. You see that, right? It made him even more black. It's just kind of funny. He could also be transparent, so it's hard to see here because, you know, he could be transparent here. If you put a background, you could tell. That just makes it easier. You can change the threshold. That actually makes Izzy even more. Okay, let's try to lower the high threshold. That way the colors are back. Yep, see, colors are back now. But it also adds some green in there, so get rid of that green, and there you go. Boom. Now you're probably wondering how I did that really cool anime effect, huh? Okay, this is where things get kind of like cool right here. All right, so. And I had like first you have to have like an idea in your head, and you got to try to think like how can I implement that with what I know how to use and how I'm going to use it. So what I did here, because I think you can do this with pretty much just anything. You just have to have like a really big image, like if like Marvesto's body layer is like it's just his full body, right? And you want it to like go up like they do in anime when they present a new character. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. You can do this in like literally any direction. This was really hard for me to figure out because it took me like 2 hours. I was like, oh, that's what I was doing wrong. Okay, so I think it's the crop tool. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the crop tool. It's the only way you can do this, right? With this. Or unless you want to go on Adobe Animate and then learn how to do anime camera pans. There's no tutorial on YouTube on how to do that right now. People just figure it out. It's kind of funny. They watch the anime and then they just like, oh, let's use Adobe Premiere Pro. That's probably the main way that people do it nowadays. But it's possible in Sony Vegas. Just no one's showing. No one's really showing it right now. You can also do like a slowdown because I always add a slowdown with my zooms. So it's like it slows down as it's zooming and it continues over until the clip is over. So that's what I was actually having it set to. So what I did was I kept the first point, which is like this, and we're actually gonna drag this to the end. And I'm gonna copy this, paste it anywhere, almost as if it were like the main thing. I guess that'll make sense later on in the video. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna drag that and I hit Control Z because I want that to go back. I messed up right there. Click this and just set it to strict left and right. That's what I'm calling it. So we're actually gonna drag this to the right so that way it's completely out of the frame. Oh gosh, you can actually see, you can literally see the black and green right here. Now, if you had a background, you wouldn't be able to really see all that. I think I have to lower the threshold, but let's make sure we get that in check first. So crop, chroma key here. Let's fix that threshold. I think I need to get rid of that. Yeah, that's a little weird. All right. Yep. I think I kind of did. Almost got rid of the character too. You can faintly. I don't think it's even there anymore. It looks like it's gone now. So let's go back. That's what that is now. First time doing it like that. That was kind of cool. You can faintly even see it's like it's somewhere in here. You can kind of see it if you look really close. I might be just tripping right now, but it looks like it's still there. You just barely like faintly see it. So I'm actually gonna leave this right here, and this is actually gonna pan into this. So what I want this to do is actually be right here. So that's the starting frame of it not being in the frame, and then the ending frame of it being there, right? and then it's just gonna continue to keep sliding. But you already know it's cut off right there. I didn't even draw anything right there, so it's automatically cut off right there. So you don't want to show them that because that's an animation error. You don't want to do that. So when I just show for example, I'll move this up down like down here somewhere. Drag this right here. So now you can play it back and then see that's kind of that's a cool way to do it. I don't think I set it to this distance from that frame because this actually tells you where the camera is, right? You can zoom out. You can drag this to see what you're doing. It's always laggy no matter what PC you use. It's just laggy. Go here. Boom, there you go. See, this frame is doing this thing. It's staying out of the frame, and then it's slowly moving Izzy into that frame. So if I play it back like this, drag these here. See, you can see it right here, happening right here as I'm doing it to showcase it. And then to do the slowdown, put it here. Actually, I don't even know how I did the slowdown, so just watch me do it, and then once you figure out what I did wrong, you'll know what to not do. So I think what I'm actually going to do is click this one, right click it, hit slow to slow down the frame before it hits the end frame. And I think what I'm actually going to do is actually drag that away some. Okay, yeah. So I think I need to make this further. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so I think that one actually needs to go, the slowdown for needs to go after. I think that needs to go after. That's a little weird. Yeah, that is weird. So this frame is literally the same thing as this in this direction, but it's still going for some reason. I don't know why. I think this is trying to. Okay, that might be the right way to do it, but let's also make sure it's not just the same thing as copy this right here, ending here, and then paste and then add slow. That's another way to think about it. Okay, so let's make sure it's not just sliding off because it's its own thing, and the system already knows what you're gonna do, which is actually kind of funny because that'd be kind of nice. That's not the smart way to explain it, but I like to think of it like that because I'm like, ooh, that does work for me because of plot armor. Ooh, okay. So add a frame, of course. All right, I just deleted it, so start over. Add a frame right here, and then put slow. Put this right here. I kind of almost forgot what I was supposed to do, so paste there, and then we're gonna play it back. Oh, you actually just get rid of this. I was supposed to drag that over there, of course. You guys saw me do that. I'm supposed to drag that there. Alright. I'm going to play this again. So I just click down here because I have to drag this out the way all the time. Sometimes you have to. Wait, that was weird. Hold on. This was supposed to slow down before it met up. So this one didn't have the slow effect on it. So if I play this back again and pretend this is exactly how I started, because this is exactly how I started it off. So that's weird. So what if I bring? Oh, because it's because I had it closer. So let's actually bring these up and see what it has to offer. This one's supposed to have the slow effect on it. That's weird. So what about this one? This one doesn't have the slow. That's weird because it was doing that before, right? It was slowing down and then it would. So it's not even showing it so fast that it's not even showing at this point. I think what I need to do is bring this from the very beginning. Yeah, bring it from the very beginning. Yeah. I can bring it closer to it. Yeah, I think that's what. Okay, what if I bring it closer to the left to adjust the. Okay, the shoulder's not even in that frame. So I think what it's doing is slowing it down at the split second that it's going. Oh. So I did copy and paste that. Let's not do that, okay? Let's actually just put it here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. So through trial and error, we have finally figured out how to do it. So don't copy and paste, just make a new keyframe and then slow it like that. I feel like we just did that, but I really just copy and pasted it. Yep, there we go. Drag this over here. That way it's slowing it down. think what I'm gonna do is drag this one closer. That might have been a new way to do it. But I'm trying to remember what I did before, because in the outro, right, it slides in just like this. Huh. I don't think I did it like it synced up with his voice. Huh. It's like, huh, good animation. Yeah, so that's one way to do it, I guess. I'm gonna slide it back some though. Yeah, you can just keep messing around, like messing with the frames and see how they work. And you can also actually drag, like click and drag like this, and you can copy and paste the frames into like a whole different like video file. Yeah, that's pretty cool, is there? Right? You could actually like go like this, click, drag across these, and then hit Control C, right? And then you want to do like a different video file like that. You can go to a different one with a green screen, right, and do all that stuff, and then copy paste it right in here. So make sure you you start from the beginning of wherever you want that whole entire like preset of what you just copied all these frame specifics into that, like, you see how this one starts right here, right? So if you that goes 1 2 3 and you want it to be exactly like this, copy, start at this point, and then hit Control V and paste. See, there you go, easy. All right, and it'll do the exact same thing that this one just did. As long as you have a copy of this file and keep it on the same project, you can make a duplicate of the project and then just delete the original stuff as long as you have the stuff copied first and then delete it and then put it into the new one. Easy. Boom. So that's how I do the thingy thing. So I think what I'm going to do now is actually try the up zoom, because I've never done the up zoom before. I've always wanted to do an up zoom. I'm not going to do a down. I'm tempted to do a down one, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do a down one. Okay. So I'm actually going to do it here. And this one, I'm going to set this one to strict up and down. So, oh wait, oh no, I'm getting too ahead of myself. It needs to stay left to right first, because I gotta set it back into frame. So this needs to be set to like here. I'm gonna change it back to strict up and down, strict, and then all the way up here. So depending on how far you want that to go. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this one's already set to being right here. Nice, nice, very nice. What I want this to do, because if I set it any lower, it's yeah. So you see that right there? Don't want to do that. I'm gonna play that back and see how fast that goes. And I think all we gotta do now, so we're just pretending this is a full image, even though it's not. This literally has to be a full image for this to actually work, like depending on how you frames. Oh, I just noticed Izzy's shoulders just go up. I should have made a bounce effect with that, but it would have taken forever. It looked like that first time I noticed before I said it, I acknowledged it. So I'm gonna add a slow here. Click here, add a new frame. Right click, slow. So I'm gonna actually drag that to the end of that clip to keep it slowing. Okay, so this one just keeps going down, and it actually repeats what the first frame is actually doing. So that yeah. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, I got you. So actually, delete this. Don't do that. That's not what that's. I think it changes depending on what you're supposed to do. That one was just made for that specific way of movement. So I copy this, and I'm gonna move this up some, so that way it thinks it's just gonna stop right here, but it's actually gonna keep going, but at a very slow pace. So this is gonna go from being above to this frame, which is right here. So this one's above, right? Above the thingy thing, and then this one is. It's not even in the full image right here. You can see the line right here. It's not even touching the full thing. It's not fully encased in it. So you go here. I'm actually gonna set it to here. That way I can drag it back over there. That way I can see it quicker. Paste. And then we're not gonna add a slow. I think we're gonna add a slow for this one. Slow. And then this one's gonna go to a strict down. Yeah, there we go. Paste. See this one? I changed this one before copying. No, I copied this one first as if it were this, and then I pasted its original self, because this third frame was actually the second frame, but I changed the second frame after I copied it, and even though I copied it, it didn't change what I copied before because it would have been still this if I pasted it here. But glad it doesn't do that, so it doesn't keep up with what I'm doing. Okay, so now if we play it back, mom's coming in. See? Yeah, that's how you do it. And that's how you animate by. But that's how you do the slowdown. You can just obviously do. Oh, the tween thing I gotta show you. Hold on. Hurry, hurry, mom's coming in. Tween. Okay, so do tween. Okay, delete. Because if you copy that, if you kick cut, that's the same thing as copy. It just gets rid of it and you can paste it again.
On that right there. Keep on. Keep on.
Okay, so yep, so you do a pan. And there's a way to, I think if you hold shift, this actually slows it. Yeah, this one slows it down. That's that. Nah, don't do shift. Don't do that. But if you want your clip to be longer, so you set it like that before exporting it and then adding the effects. That's how you do a pan. Yep. And again, double click here. So yeah, that's how you do that.
Get him like that for him not to